Teacher talking sports with dudes with do how we live, and let's continue the series I've been doing where I take a look at each NFL franchise and attempt to name their best player in franchise history. Who was their GOAT? I'm going in alphabetical order. Today is the Dallas Cowboys, one of the more challenging one. The Cowboys have been a franchise since 1960, so 64 seasons of NFL action, 5 Super Bowl wins in 8 appearances. Believe me, there's a lot of guys who are all-time legends. Now, 2 off seasons ago, I did my NFL Mount Rushmores by teams. 4 best players in each franchise's history. Last offseason, I did my Mount Rushmores by position, 4 best players at each position, NFL history. So this is who I included in the Dallas Cowboys. I take a look and mention if I make any changes to what I said 2 years ago. So in alphabetical order, I have defensive tackle Bob Lilly, a 11-time Pro Bowler, 7-time first team All-Pro, Emmitt Smith, NFL's all-time leading rusher, Roger Staubach, incredible quarterback with a career starting record of 85-29, and Randy White, defensive tackle, 9-time Pro Bowler, 7-time first team All-Pro. Some of the many honorable mentions I included were Larry Allen, Too Tall Jones, Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Dorsett, Nate Newton, Darren Woodson, Deion Sanders, Jason Witten, Mel Renfro, Drew Pearson, Bob Hayes, Chuck Howley, Cornell Green, Leroy Jordan, Rayfield Wright, DeMarcus Ware, Tyron Smith, and Zach Martin. Now, I'll keep it the same, but I will say Zach Martin, man, he's really got a case to be on. Only problem is all 4 of these guys are Super Bowl winners, and we know it's been a while since the Cowboys have won a Super Bowl, thus Zach Martin doesn't have one. But again, really hard to limit it to just 4 guys. The other 2 playmakers, we knew the playmakers, Emmett, Troy, and Michael. Troy and Michael didn't make my Mount Rushmore. Very hard to limit to 4, and just as hard for me to pick an all-time best. I was really going between 2 guys. In the end, I went with the NFL's all-time leading rusher, Emmitt Smith. Smith was a first-round, 17th overall pick in the 1990 NFL Draft out of Florida. Played 15 seasons in the NFL, the first 13 with the Dallas Cowboys. First ballot Hall of Famer in 2010. Just an historic career for Emmitt, as I mentioned, the all-time NFL leading rusher at 18,355 rushing yards. We take a look at his season-by-season numbers. So in his 13 years with Dallas, rushed for 17,162 yards and 153 touchdowns, also adding 11 receiving touchdowns. He led the league in rushing 4 times with Dallas, 3 times in rushing touchdowns for 11 straight seasons from 1991 to 2001. Smith rushed for over 1,000 yards. He had 8 seasons with double-digit rushing touchdowns in his career. Named the Offensive Rookie of the Year in 1990. MVP in 1993. Also had 2 MVP finishes, a third, Offensive Player of the Year finishes of second, third, and third in his career. For 4 straight seasons from 1992 to 1995, he was named a first-team All-Pro. Each of his first 6 seasons, and then 1998 and 99, Smith was named to the Pro Bowl. Smith was a 3-time Super Bowl champion and was the Super Bowl 28 MVP, 17 playoff games, all with Dallas, 1,586 rushing yards and 19 rushing touchdowns, also adding 2 receiving touchdowns. So such longevity for Emmitt Smith, and just long seen as one of the best running backs. When I did my running back Mount Rushmore, I included Smith along with Barry Sanders, Walter Payton, and Jim Brown. So in the end, it was really between him and Staubach. I mean, Lilly and White were awesome too, but really was debating between Smith and Staubach. I decided to go with the NFL's all-time leading rusher. Let me know in the comments if you agree. Do you think Emmitt Smith was the best Dallas Cowboy of all time? Now, with all these, I've been taking a look at could any active player unseat the GOAT or at least find their way on the Mount Rushmore? I'm going to say probably not with the Cowboys. I did mention how Zach Martin probably will have a case to be on the Mount Rushmore. Again, minus the Super Bowl, a little tougher, but there's some people who believe Zach Martin is the best guard in NFL history, so definitely has a case. Micah Parsons just mighty young in his career, but has an opportunity to become one of the best pass rushers of all time if he continues his superb play as he has early on in his career. But again, let me know in the comments who is the best Dallas Cowboy of all time. Again, going in alphabetical order. So tomorrow, I will take a look at the Denver Broncos. Anyhow, don't forget to subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit the bell for notifications. I'm out.